Now, you're going from a team that is was kind of on the rocks, and now they're 4-4. Obviously, things are looking up in Oakland, but now you're at a true contender in Seattle, 4-3, sitting at first place in their division. How
Sure.
important is it to you, to be able to sign with a contender and look at a realistic shot of making the playoffs this year?
Oh man, it's like a honestly, I hate to sound cheesy, and this might come off that way, but it really is like a dream come true. I've always wanted to be in the playoffs, and it's so funny, man. I talk to guys around the league, and I got a lot of guys that I'm close with on other teams and teams that have been in the playoffs, and they all tell me the same thing. They're like, you got to get to the playoffs. In your career, you got to make it there. You'll never know what real football is like till you get to the playoffs. And I'm like, we're working for, we're trying, and then I get signed here, and they're in a good position, and they need some help, in some areas, and that's why they brought in some guys. But I'm just looking to come in, and kind of help out where I can, and just when I'm out there, if I get the opportunity to do my job and make the best of it.
Now, before we started rolling tape, you kind of floored me when you told me they were going to play you this Sunday. Waste absolutely no time. You're going to be backing up Balmer, I do believe it was that you said. Are you
Mm.
concerned that you're not quite yet in football shape, or have what Mike Shanahan here in Washington D.C. referred to recently as cardiovascular endurance to get the
Yeah,
job done?
and that whole McNabb situation is a whole other situation in itself. I really feel for Donovan because it's a shame that they can't just give him a straight up answer and tell him to his face. But regardless, it's one of those things. It's football. You're gonna have a couple days of rest to knock off and trying to get your timing back and your hand placement back as a D lineman. But at the same time, once you get rolling, you get rolling. Now, when it comes to conditioning, and football condition is different than being on the treadmill and just kind of running in the gym. Actually getting out there and playing is something that you can't really get in shape for until you actually do it. So I don't anticipate that they're going to give me tons of reps. I might get a couple here, a couple there, and just try to go out there and hold down the fort and do my job and make it make it look good. So we'll see what happens. It should be an adventure though.
Talk to me about how well you think you're going to fit in with Seattle's defense as compared to how you were playing in Oakland. I'm not even sure honestly if they're a 3-4, if they're a 4-3, or
And that's kind of what I wasn't positive on until I got there and I saw what they'd have me doing. I spent about an hour or two yesterday with the D-line coach in the film room going over the kind of defense they run, what their different packages are and where I would fit in each of them. And, I think it's really, really a natural spot for me. It's something I've been doing for a while. I mean, it was so funny because, they had me playing their base end, which is five technique, head up on the tackle, outside shoulder the tackle, just basically doing what I've been doing. It's a little bit more of a hybrid than Oakland's defense, which is a true 4-3. This one, we got a lot of 3-4 packages, which I'm definitely ready for and happy about. But the defense, funny enough, is basically the same defense I played in Ohio State. I mean, you got your base, your three base guys down, and you have your fourth guy, your defensive end, a little bit lighter, faster guy, kind of roaming from side to side. So it's kind of cool.
it's always kind of a difficult situation for a player to come in halfway through the season, especially after having undergone knee surgery and spending the time rehabbing and being on your own, and not getting your reps in at practice every day. I mean, realistically now, what are your expectations for yourself for the remainder of the season and the Seahawks last, I guess they have 9 games left this year?
Honestly, these next 9 games, my expectations for myself haven't changed from the expectations I had for myself from the beginning of the season. I'm a very, driven, very determined player. I'm pretty hard on myself. I won't give myself any excuses when it comes to my performance or my production. When I'm out there, I plan on producing. I plan on making plays. I plan on, tackling running backs and getting to the quarterback. And I plan on doing it, early and often. So, if I get the opportunity to, I'm going to play, at as high a level as I possibly can. And I think that'll be more than adequate.
You're in the NFC West now. Of course, the San Francisco 49ers, you should be somewhat familiar with having spent all that time in the Bay
Oh,
Area.
yeah. Exactly. It's funny. It's very funny you say that because I was just online last night, literally looking through the schedule and going, okay, let's get familiar with the NFC West because I have never really paid attention to all the teams in the NFC West because I'm used to playing in my conference. So I'm going through the schedule. I'm like, okay, we got Arizona. Okay, we got the Rams. Okay, and we got we got San Fran. Okay, I was like, okay, I'm familiar with those teams. I played all those teams at one point or another. So I just started trying to get some film from the staff on every team, so I can get a little bit more familiar with their schemes and packages, and just try to get my mind ready to defend everything they have.
And December 12th, you're making your return to the Bay Area. You're going to be playing at Candlestick. I mean, what kind of a big deal is that going to be for you, just being back in the Bay Area?
Well, hey, I'm just trying to take it one day at a time right now. We're down there, and that's what's happening. Hey, that'll be a blessing. I still got a lot of friends and a lot of a lot of support there, and I'm going to be thrilled to be back there and hanging out and try to go out there and put on a good show.
All right, and what does this mean for the Jay Richardson Foundation? Might we see a branch extended now into the Great Northwest?
You never know. You might see a few color changes in our scheme for the logo, but I'm definitely gonna have a story for the kids, this year when I explain to them about handling adversity and keeping your faith in the Lord. So it should be wonderful.
And last question, your mom. Last time we spoke, you told me that she was the official spokeswoman now for Women's Health and the Campbell Soup Company. How's that going along for her?
Oh, it's going wonderful. I think she had a meeting with them yesterday again to just go over some details, and so they're all ready to kick things off at the start of the new year. She'll be the Campbell's mom, so that's wonderful.
And is she going to be wearing neon green on the commercials?
That's what she's struggling with right now. She still has all of her old Raider stuff that she's trying to hang on to. And I'm like, Mom, it's time to move in a different direction.
Well, I'm sure if you ask the PR people nicely, they'll hook you up with some new equipment, huh?
I think they might be able to maybe give us a sweatshirt or a baseball cap or something.
All right. Now, the 12th man out in Seattle, I hope that they throw all of their support behind you because you are absolutely, a true gem. You've been a pleasure to work with, and we wish you nothing but the utmost success out in Seattle, Jay.
I thank you sincerely for it, and God bless.